What's up guys, it's Drac, and today we've got a box. This one's interesting. This one comes to us from Kate of Artificial Armory. It seems like there's a new 3D printed aftermarket foam blaster shop every month or so at this point, and honestly, I'm thrilled. I couldn't be happier with that. The fact that the aftermarket is taking over the main market, that they're working so congruently with one another, it's phenomenal. It's just really, really exciting to see. And there's one, I've read this note once, but I'm going to go ahead and read it again. It says, "Dear Drac, you were the first YouTuber I subscribed to back in the day, so it gives me great pleasure to be able to send you something that I've had a hand in designing. The Mistresskey, not a master key, fills a void that has bothered me for a while now. It gives any foam warrior with a Picatinny top rail on top of their blaster extra capacity for a shot of mega goodness. Perfect for taking out zombies or stubborn shield users without switching your blaster out. Also makes a great rail riser. We at Artificial Armory are proud to be the first release and look forward to many more of their designs." Butchered that. "A review video would be appreciated, but of course the choice is yours." Well, here we are, Kate. Both June, Atalanta, and I would love to hear your feedback. We have already many new ideas in the works and a Mark II release before the end of the year. And then it's signed Kate and June, Artificial Armory. I'm just assuming here, out on a limb, that with names like Kate and June, this is our second all-girl power foam blaster company thing, whatever it is, and I couldn't be more excited that that's going on. This used to be a very male-dominated hobby, and I really like the diversity that's spreading out. As the hobby grows larger, it becomes more inclusive, it becomes more wonderful. The rising tide raises all boats. The first all-girl power company, of course, being my little sister over at Foam Blast and her lovely wife. So let's go ahead and test this thing out. This is the Mistresskey. It's clearly in the correct colors, eh? So back here we have a pull tab, plenty of room here. Both of my fingers fit very comfortably, and then a top rail that splits colors multiple times. I really like that. On my Arcane series Caliburns and Talon Claws, I try and get as much color dichotomy as I can. Print quality is probably like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. It's not a 10 out of 10, but it's certainly not bad. Just got some trimming up to do in the Picatinny here. Frequently putting a support in each one of the corners makes this a lot cleaner and easier as opposed to a support laterally through the whole thing. Then a little bit of wobble on the Z here, but nothing major. Overall, a very handsome print. And then if you look at the Mistresskey there, you can see that the words are quite legible. Very, very nice. Then we've got insets for hex. It looks like it's all done in M3. This one's a nylon lock nut, which is quite nice. I think that it's safe to say that the sandwich of 3 bars, 1 here, and then 2 here down here is going to make this, yeah, I mean, that's solid. How embarrassing would it have been if I had broken it instead? Then you're going to prime back like this. This button is not a dial, it's a button. It comes out like that, and so I'm assuming... All right, okay. It appears that we're powered by a K26, then a Talon Claw-esque kind of plunger inside, and luckily with the clear material, you can kind of see how that works. It looks like we attach to a standard Nerf rail or standard Picatinny rail with again, I think they're not M3, they're M5 bolts. So it's similar to Caliburn hardware. You could use something along that line. And then we've got a mega barrel up top, complete with safety orange, as well as a Picatinny up top. So as they said, it would be a rail riser for an optic. Don't have to give up your optic to put this on. I have another gift from a viewer that I'd like to show off in this video, and I think that the combination of these two will demonstrate it quite handsomely. Let's go. So this Nexus Pro was sent to me by a viewer who's been a viewer for a long time. They just got their first 3D printer. They ripped some of these files off of Thingiverse and they look slick. I just want to thank them overtly for the very kind, very generous gift. This paint job in red enamel is quite slick and it matches these parts very nicely. In particular, I wanted to point out that I do a lot of promoting my own products, the ones that I sell on Foam Pro Shop and we design in-house. We're very proud of those. However, there's lots of funky options out there. This hybridizes your adapter and kind of fits flush in as opposed to how I reduce them. And I just think that it's cool. This is a complete rail extension as opposed to I designed Equinox sights that make up for the rail discrepancy. And then there's even a sling point down here, which is not a bad addition given that the grip does not have one intrinsically. For this person's first 3D prints, these are quite handsome. Thank you so much for the lovely gift. And for everyone else who maybe can't afford or isn't interested in shopping over at foamproshop.com, it's of note that if you happen to have a 3D printer printer, there are some very nice, very versatile free options out there. So Thingiverse turns out has lots of things on it. All right, so let's marry these two together. Mistresskey meet Master Blaster. All right, so locking this one on is actually quite easy. Magic aside, there's two nuts that sink in here. I've actually alternated them one versus the other. My only critique for this design so far in the review is that Picatinny is a standard length spacing between the two rails. So while this one is a set nut into a set screw, this one's clearly designed with, like, you know, a centimeter of variability into it. And I just don't think that that's necessary. It would align automatically one way or the other. And while the variability might be a feature that they're a big fan of, assuming your Picatinny is good, you shouldn't need that. And it would be nice to have them both, you know, set lock nuts. At least all Picatinny I've ever encountered has been of a set. I mean, it means something, right? It's not just, we put rails on it. Anyway, so you've got your main blaster. You're rocking. You're rolling, you're enjoying the fact that your Nexus Pro is dry fire safe, and you know, a shield zombie or a boomer or what have you comes out of nowhere. You've already got your mega preloaded into the barrel. This guy is back, and honestly, that prime is not getting in your way. You could space this further forward or further back. I thought that it would be attractive to put it kind of smack dab in the middle there, but then you're moving from here. Okay, I dig it. I dig it. It's also very easy to reload, make ready, and fire. Plunger is good. I can actually see here that they've used some sort of foam mat here as a padding for the plunger, so I'm assuming this would dry fire at least 1 or 2 times if you were so inclined. But the translucent plunger tube, I mean, it really is just the best part of the Caliburn. I'm assuming a very tight catch mechanism in there. And then this button is surprisingly more comfortable than I thought it would be. We used to, you know, rig long shot front guns to keyring pulls and night finders and all sorts of stuff. So like 3D printing has just made everything a little more ergonomic, a little sexier, a little cleaner. And I'm a big fan of that. So if you have large enough hands, you don't even need to move from a magwell rest. You can just pull back like this. Realistically, you're probably going to be kind of nervous because that guy just jumped out of a bush, and then, you know, you can just slap it. It's like a Kalashnikov. That's cool. It's also durable enough that it doesn't seem to mind that I'm slapping it. So let's see what happens. I would be remiss if I didn't test its ability to shotgun blast a couple of rival rounds. One genuine, one dart zone. How much power does it have? Oh well, nothing perfect. We'll give it one more shot, see? Now we're gonna get a screwdriver and take those out. For Megas, this was designed for Megas. Let's take her outside, put her over the chronograph. All right, guys, so we've got the Mistresskey out here. Gonna go ahead and prime it. Then we're gonna come in, tease this blip out. Just check a quick calibration on the old Nexus Pro. Now these are bamboo darts, so. Oh yeah.
Still good.
Let's go ahead, prime our Mistresskey, throw in a Mega Dart. This Mega Dart has been loosely chewed by Jay. Hopefully that doesn't affect its performance. We'll put a couple of those over. Ooh. So once it's mounted, it's a little 88. Well, you saw it here first, boys and girls. The Mistresskey performs better than actual Mega Blasters. Let's try one that hasn't been attacked by my ferocious hounds. 94. Oof. Priming at this angle while holding the grip of your main blaster is not bad. Let's do a quick slap fire down range. Just right there, and I was kind of aiming down, but this is really a short distance, hit the special zombie kind of attachment. Let's fire one at range though. Pretend it's some sort of a sabo. Sabo? How do you pronounce that word? I don't know. Anyway. It was like a 100-foot shot. It broke the tree line. And it whistled while it did it. All right. Oh man, it's a mini can. Quite the test. Well, not that much of a test after all, it would seem. So overall, ringing endorsement for the Mistresskey. I'll go ahead and throw a link down in the description where you can find one of your very own. Huge thank you to Kate and June for sending one over. I think that's a pretty cool attachment. All in all, it definitely subverts the Master Key narrative and comes up here and does something unique and cool, and it's kind of amazing nobody's thought to do one like this already. So well done. Hope to see more exciting things from you in the future, and pretty novel, pretty cool way to add your bonus special shot onto there. I think that it would be effective even without. And while I don't have one here to show you like a dummy, it will fire rival rounds as long as you only single load the rival rounds. So it can do it, it just doesn't necessarily want to. That said, I think that it was designed for megas. It shoots megas very accurately and very far, and you should probably dance with the doll you came with, or the mistress that you brought. Anyway, I'm not funny. Much love. Blast on. Drac out.